Well, hello, I'm Sue Krautbauer, and I'm passionate about helping midlife and mid-career 30 to 50 somethings that are feeling stuck, but don't know exactly why they can't get moving again. As a midtrepreneur mentor, my weekly thoughts on midlife perspectives are meant to help you gain some insight into the life or business or career that you have been dreaming about. And quite possibly give you a virtual kick in the backside so that you can get unstuck and moving forward again. We started with last week's topic, the state of meh. And for, the next few weeks, we're going to be tackling some of the signs and symptoms of stuckness. What stuck looks like, discover the things that lead to the lack of motivation or direction, and then some actionable ideas on how to get your mojo back in gear. The 7 deadly sins were a popular theme in medieval art and literature, and this has likely been what's helped them persist as a concept throughout all of these centuries. It actually started in the 4th century with a Christian monk named Evagrius Ponticus. Why do I do that to myself? He wrote down what was known then as the 8 evil thoughts. It was familiar to you, I'm sure: gluttony, lust, avarice, anger, sloth, sadness, vainglory, and pride. Over the last years, those 2 have been merged into pride. So vainglory, what does that mean? But they've been merged into pride, and these became known what you and I know today as the 7 deadly sins. Now, no worries. I'm not going to pontificate about medieval history or anything like that, but I was thinking about how those might apply to folks facing midlife melancholy. And I came up with my own version of the 7 deadly sins. I'm calling them the 7 symptoms of stuckness. Symptoms vary quite a bit. No 2 people feel stuck in quite the same way, but a great majority of stucks come from you battling at least one of these 7 root causes of your state of stuck. The first one: discouraged. Kind of, general blah has set in. Your head is spinning and all that hard work seems like just exactly that. Hard work. There's no feeling of reward, no sense of achievement. You used to have tons of passion, but where did it all go? Does this sound familiar? You might be stuck because you lack a specific or a reasonable goal, which is diluting your purpose and, sapping your energy. Number 2, lack of direction. You're stuck because you're often reactionary rather than being strategically focused. You are super busy, but, what you're doing isn't necessarily all that effective. You are obsessed with your to-do list, and yet there's no big picture to guide your actions. And then, because of that, your decisions are made on the fly, with little regard for the goals you are pursuing today. And you can forget about tomorrow. The upshot is that you're likely to find your results are mediocre at best, and probably are failing to move you towards your desired life or work goal. Now, don't get me wrong, you're going to arrive somewhere, but probably not at the destination, aka goal, you were actually aiming for. Number 3, you're exhausted. You're stuck because, it's been a rough patch recently, hasn't it? For everyone? Whew. Emotional exhaustion is one of the signs of burnout, of stuckness. People experiencing emotional exhaustion often feel like they have no power and no control over what is happening in their life. Exhaustion slowly eats away at motivation, like Pac-Man, waka 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 waka, and leads the way to cynicism. Do you find yourself saying things like, well, it's not that things are broken, but it just doesn't feel right either, or, oh, gosh, I'm pooped. Or, if it's not one thing, it's another. Once I get something figured out, another thing springs a leak. Number 4, overwhelmed. You're stuck because, frankly, you just don't know what to do next. You used to be so certain about where to go, but here you are, feeling rudderless. It all just seems like too much work. Feeling a theme here? Or maybe you feel like you're under too much scrutiny, or maybe there's too many moving parts, or you don't have enough time or help to get it all done. It's procrastination city. You can't figure out why you can't get started. Well, you may even have, many of the elements to succeed, but, you're still doggone stuck. That goal feels huge. Often, people can find it challenging to identify the exact cause of their emotional overwhelm. The reason for that is that it's common to have multiple triggers instead of just one. When too many conflicting and troubling things are occurring concurrently all at the same time, a feeling of being overwhelmed is sure to happen. Well, most people are used to checking off their list and against the goals that they set at the end of the day. And, here's a practical suggestion for this week. Adopt a 3-day review rather than a daily. It can help ease some of that internal angst and pressure you put on yourself, getting yourself off your back when you're feeling overwhelmed. This technique is simply giving yourself a proverbial hall pass for achieving your personal goals in order to have a little margin back in your day to tackle and, balance everything else. Start doing a self-assessment review every 3 days rather than every 24 hours. This is a rather easy tweak that may just have you feeling less stressed and can reinforce your commitment to your goals. There is so much more I want to share on these to cover in our short time together. Way too much. So next week, we'll take a whack at numbers 5, 6, and 7. You won't want to miss it. Of course, if you don't want to wait on me till next week, pop over to my website and check out my Kickstart Your Comeback course. It's a virtual but gentle kick in the backside to help you get unstuck. Wishing you a great week. See you again next Friday.